One way of looking at your boss, especially if he or she is not a good leader in your view, is to use them as a real-life case study. In a way, they are making all the mistakes for you so that you do not need to make them yourself. You have the opportunity to analyze the leadership of your boss and of leaders around you. Sometimes the result of that analysis might be deciding that in your own leadership, you need to do the opposite of what your boss has done. Other times, it might be making slight adjustments so that you can achieve better results and outcomes for everyone involved. Whether your boss is a good leader or not, you have a choice to either model yourself like them or not like them. Your boss is essentially showing you what to do and what not to do. And this is another way in which you can continuously practice your leadership and decide for yourself what sort of a leader would you be. Of course, all of these requires you to exercise your judgment. So it is possible for you to be an excellent leader even when your boss is not such a good leader themselves. While your boss will play a significant influence in your leadership, as I've mentioned quite a few times in this video so far, there are other leaders around you that you can observe and you can learn from. The key is to know what to look for. I've had leaders share with me that they learn how to lead by listening to others because their boss did the opposite and talked over the team. Others have shared with me that they've learned how to be consistent in their words, actions, and decisions because their own boss was not. There have been first-time leaders who have developed their leadership by seeking out a variety of mentors, some of whom they meet in person, others they will observe from afar. There have been other first-time leaders who have told me that they have picked up their leadership by reading books, attending courses, listening to audio recordings, sometimes just through trial and error. So there are many ways in which you can learn about leadership and develop yourself as a leader. And it doesn't have to include your immediate boss. And like I said, as long as you know what to look out for. Alright, so let's put all this into a possible scenario where your boss is not exactly the best leader that you can learn from, and yet you want to develop your own leadership. First, you need to understand that leadership is about bringing others to their success through your words, actions, and decisions. Employees are not resources to be controlled, but people to be led. Keep an eye out for leadership examples in your workplace where better results can be achieved or were achieved because people were led rather than controlled as resources. Next, you need to have a clear understanding of your personal values, your strengths, and your personality because they form your unique leadership approach. Knowing your personal values gives you the ability to differentiate between right or wrong and what you value most in your life. Knowing your strengths gives you insight into where you can lead well and where you need to work with others to complement your weaknesses. And your personality is what adds flavor in your interaction with the people around you as a leader. Third, because every single situation that you face and the people involved are dynamic, you need to exercise your judgment in order to resolve those situations successfully. This judgment is your emotional intelligence. In particular, you want to be relying on your ability of sympathy, empathy, and compassion. Fourth, whether your boss is a good leader or not, they still serve as a real-life case study for you. They provide you with an opportunity to observe their leadership so that then you can reflect and decide on yourself what sort of a leader are you going to be. Finally, there are opportunities to learn about leadership all around you, not just from your immediate boss. As I've mentioned previously, there are other leaders around you, and there are also ways in which you can find out mentors, observe them from far, speak with them in person, learn from books, training courses, audio recordings. There are plenty of information out there. You just need to know what to look for. This question is actually one of the biggest struggles that I've come across and that many people have shared with me. When your leadership has yet to be set in stone, it's very easily to be swayed and influenced by other leaders around you. After all, even if your boss is not a good leader, they are still your boss. They're still managing you and they're the one managing the team. And that means that you have to align yourself to them, to the objectives that they have set, to the goals that have been put in place. It requires you to follow someone like that. Well, let me just share one thing. Even the conscious decision to follow your boss is in itself a practice of leadership. And I just want to remind you as well that even if your boss is not a good leader, there are still people around you, the team that you are in, and they can still use your leadership. And as a reminder, because of the situations that you face and the people involved are dynamic, no one leadership trait is going to help you resolve this question of how to develop your leadership when your boss is not such a good leader. In fact, you're going to have to apply multiple traits in order to successfully resolve those issues and how you can develop your own leadership as a result. And so in this particular situation that you are in, make sure you apply as many of the traits as possible. Ultimately, I don't really think there's such thing as a good or bad leader. It's really about the situation that is involved and the leadership approach that is used. In some situations, someone who is seen as a good leader might not be such a good leader or may even be a bad leader if the situation changes. It's really up to you to exercise that judgment and decide for yourself what are some of the lessons that you can learn and apply back to your leadership. If you enjoyed this video so far, really appreciate if you give me the thumbs up. It helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. And if you have yet to subscribe to First Time Leadership, do click on that subscribe button to be notified of when new videos come out to help you with your leadership journey. And lastly, if you have any comments about what I've shared in this video, do share a comment below. In any case, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope the information that is shared with you allows you to answer this question of what if your boss is not a good leader to learn from. I'm Daniel Lee from First Time Leadership. I look forward to speaking with you soon.